The media was all over the place. They were obsessed with sort of me, what was going on, what the politics were about. But this wasn't about politics. This wasn't even really about surveillance. This was about democracy. This was about the fact that, we collectively, as the public, both nationally and internationally, had the world that we lived in changed without our knowledge, without our consent, without our awareness, without our involvement. Technologists, particularly the IETF, you guys are the ones who have, I think, really led the charge and started to show us that there's a path out of this. There's a way forward when these kind of things happen. Because, when we think about the work of the IETF, when we think about the standard principles that we all work from, when we kind of try to envision what is the internet? To whom does it belong? Who does it work for? The internet doesn't belong to vendors. The internet doesn't belong to governments. The internet belongs to the user, right? So when we think about things like the end-to-end principle, for example, the idea of a simple core and smart edges, that's what we planned for, that's what we wanted, that's what we expected. But what happened in secret over a very long period of time was that it was changed to a very dumb edge and a deadly core. And that's what's being changed now. I mean, you guys have done your RFCs, the IABs put out a couple draft statements about it. And this is what we see moving forward. We see an opportunity to change this. Because it's not about, the United States. It's not about the NSA. It's not about the Russians. It's not about the Chinese. It's not about the British. It's not about any national government. It's about the world we have, the world we want to live in, and the internet, the connections that we want to build between people, between nodes, between every point of presence in every home, on every phone around the world. And I think if I were going to synthesize and kind of simplify for anybody who doesn't think about this stuff, who doesn't care about the politics, and I get it, because this isn't a political forum, it's very neutral, it's about the technology, is to go, let's not demonize the NSA specifically, because they're one example of a global problem. The lesson of 2013 is not that the NSA is evil, it's that the path is dangerous. The network path is something that we need to help users get across safely. Our job as technologists, our job as engineers, our job as anybody who cares about the internet in any way, who has any kind of personal or commercial involvement, is literally to armor the user, to protect the user, and to make sure that they can get from one end of the path to the other safely and without interference. With that, can we get questions?
Sure.